I'm pretty sure the 10-year-old who sat in front of me is now scarred for life. Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet. The Hateful Eight. In my opinion, this is one of Quentin Tarantino's better efforts. The story follows the bounty hunter, the hangman, the sheriff, and the prisoner as they make their way to Red Rock. On the way, they stop at Minnie's haberdashery and meet the Mexican, the little man, the Confederate, and the cowpuncher. As they await the end of a blizzard, they drink coffee and ask questions, slowly pulling back the curtain on what's actually going on. The truth is a doozy. To speak candidly, when it comes to Tarantino, I admire his philosophy on film more than his films. Out of all of them, minus this one, I would enthusiastically rewatch Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds. I was personally not a fan of Django Unchained. I think there is great acting in it, but the material and I just didn't gel. So when I learned that his next film would also be a Western, I was worried. But then I learned it would be shot using 65mm film and presented in Ultra Panavision 70mm. And that made me look forward to this film, because prior to this film, I had never seen a film showcased in 70mm. I mean, like a lot of people, I've seen films that were technically shot like that, like Ben-Hur for instance, but I've never seen Ben-Hur showcased in 70mm. Seeing this in 70mm was a privilege, and one that reminded me of why I love going to a movie theater to watch movies. It's a place that is ready and willing to give hope to those listening, and no matter how convenient the at-home experience is, a movie theater provides an innocent and emotional communal experience that brings total strangers from all over together and gives them a common interest. And in this case, that common interest was watching talented actors dish out rude dialogue and pull out prop guns to deliver stylized violence. In essence, we paid to watch a signature Tarantino film. The curious thing is that this one actually harkens back to Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino's first film. The story, like that one, takes place in basically one location, and by way of playing Judge Judy, the characters find out slowly but surely who everyone among them really is, because not everyone is who they say they are. It's intriguing because it's a scenario that could easily be boring, but somehow with everyone involved, it's the opposite. I mean, if we're being honest, Samuel L. Jackson is gold, no matter how crap the movie itself is. But through all 6 chapters of this movie, even with the actors I'm not familiar with, they all pulled their weight and brought a commitment that I felt just from watching them. And I felt that same commitment from everyone behind the scenes. The Hateful Eight shot for 5 months, and every scene and shot within that scene shows off a dedication from every department. I'm also a fan of the fact that Tarantino did not give away what was going to happen next. Most films nowadays not only allude to the outcome, but they pretty much give away everything we want to see in the trailer, and that results in people like myself praying that the journey to the inevitable outcome is worth it. And with this film, I do believe, even if you've been spoiled by what's going to happen, that the journey to that outcome is worth it. My favorite moment is really hard to choose because there are many that stand out for me. So instead, I think I'll just point out how, even though Samuel L. Jackson knows that he can draw a crowd in, it still blew me away with how much effort he put into his role in this movie. I mean, he's at that point in his career where he can very easily phone a performance in, but he didn't in this movie. And as a fan of his, I just, really appreciate that, because it shows how he is just one devoted mofo of an actor. My notes for improvement fall under the casting, the vulgarity, and the dialogue. Now, the dialogue itself is not bad. This is, of course, Tarantino we're talking about here. But There are times when characters will repeat dialogue over and over again to the point of irritation, and to me at that point, it's no longer about the story, it's about Tarantino being indulgent. The vulgarity is present more in the third act, and I know that for some people it will be viewed as offensive. For myself, it was more just unnecessarily gross. There are images, I'll just say, without actually saying what they are, that made me very glad I did not eat before or during the movie. I actually just brought a bottle of water, and glad I did. Finally, casting. They are both, in my opinion, good actors when given the right material, but in this film, whenever they were on screen, I was personally taken out of the movie. I am referring to Michael Madsen and Channing Tatum. To be honest, at this point in time, I'm still working out exactly why that is, but what I can say is that when I was watching this film, to me, they both just in their own way look out of place. What doesn't look out of place is this movie in Tarantino's canon. It fits rather nicely, and hopefully his last two films will as well, whatever they end up being. I give The Hateful Eight 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you for your time. I wish you an inspiring day.